Welcome to another episode, Middle Ground with L.L.C, where we treat you like family. Season 9, we doing it. That's the theme song, Detroit Love, from my first album, JL Experience. I own the music and the copyright. Facebook, don't mute nothing. Got another fabulous guest for everybody. We have the TEDx speaker, Transformational Life Coach, Training and Development, DEI. We're going to make sure, because I forgot to ask a question earlier. Vuyanzi Rodman. Oh, snap. Steph Curry. Hit the Steph Curry too, baby. We did it. We coming up.
You did it perfectly. Exactly.
Awesome. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me. I appreciate being here. I appreciate this conversation in advance. Thank you.
I've had this fun all about you. First question. What led you to this path?
You know, I always wish I had this story like this Saul to Paul experience where I'm going down the road and a light shone from heaven. But it wasn't like that. My story always feels so normal. But I appreciate that it's a normal story. That one day I was into personal development for a long time, for a few years. And then one day there was a workshop being given by these people, and they called themselves coaches. I'm like, okay. And then after a while, they were my coaches for a bit. And after a while, I was like, I think I want to do this thing. But between the time of me making a decision of being a coach and actually doing it, I keep trying to calculate it, but I think about 10 years went by before I actually pursued it. So what led me is the personal development to finding out that there was actually a career path, to deciding I wanted to do the career path, then finally getting to it myself.
Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna talk a little longer, but no problem. Move along.
No, I know it's so.
No problem.
Another question.
This show's all about you, baby.
I do want to say this. Right?
Go ahead.
Sometimes the path is quick. You know, some people are like, I knew what I wanted to be since I was 4 years old.
Yeah, them people.
Yeah. Whatever. However, for me, my career actually started as a classroom teacher in New Jersey. So my career path wasn't like a straight shot. You know, I still do educating in my coaching business and also as a speaker, and we can get to that in a bit. However, and actually, no, we can get to that now. So that's how my career started. It wasn't like I always knew what I wanted to be. And in that, I've been public speaking since I was a kid in church. Like since it would be like Easter and Christmas, and everyone had to do it. So it wasn't like, oh, Vuyanzi, and I had a different name back then, but oh, Vuyanzi, come and speak to us. No, it was like, okay, hey everyone, we're gonna have an Easter program, and here is the speeches that you guys have to learn. No one asked us about it. I was terrible at memorization, by the way. Memorizing is not my thing.
Oh man.
And
yeah, that's tough.
There was a couple of times that I got up there and I was like, humna, Jesus, amen, happy Easter, and then cried when I went back to my seat. So that path, as far as, so coaching was this, but this was public speaking. However, I come from a family of, maybe I'm like this third generation orator, if you will, a family of people who speak. So it wasn't new. And then I got to developing that. And then, yes, I did get asked to speak or be a keynote speaker. A lot of times, of course, for me, my background is heavily in the church, the charismatic Pentecostal church. I might add anyone knows about that. And I don't necessarily come as the fiery speaker that, you know, hawking and spitting. That's not my thing. However, I mean, God bless you if you do. But anyway, this thing developed, and I knew that I had a gift. And understand this, right? that I didn't just say, "Oh, I can speak, that's good." I've actually cultivated it and continued to develop it. And also, there's a proverb that says, "Your gift will make room for you and bring you before great
That's
men." I
true.
say humans, right? And because of my gift, it has opened doors for me. So that path,
That's
two
awesome.
very different paths of being a coach and being also a motivational speaker as well. So that's those are my paths.
Awesome. I'll give you a quick funny story about we were in Latin class back in the 90s and we had well, we was like the we was like the 72 and 10 Bulls. We were dominating doing the plays and all that good stuff.
Wow.
We come along, second go around, we got a bunch of youngins with us. We on stage doing all the ete and all that, and someone forgot their line. And we all like, wait a minute. And my man, he's standing there like a statue, like, oh, this dude forgot his line. We trying to say, hey, jump, come on, man, here we said, dude, come on, get with it. So they don't know. That was a funny time. I think we came in third. We're like, oh, well, we won
I
last
know
year. So.
that poor kid. I feel bad for that kid. I feel so bad for him.
Oh, no, he a cool dude because he's very charismatic. Man, he's an actor now. Shout out to man Don Snipes. Go
Wow.
check him
So
out.
now
He's a
he
good
has
actor.
that story of when I couldn't remember my lines and I stood
Oh, we
straight.
laughed about it. We went out and got something to eat later. Like, you just standing like a statue, bro. Like, I'm like, help me.
I get it though. I felt that. I've even, listen, I have some stories even in adult, just yeah, where things just don't always go the way you plan.
Yeah, now the bad part, shout out to my sister Tracy. She graduated '93. I told you about. They like her whole time in Latin. They were the champs. So I come along. She's like, well, we always had the trophy. So I just know you're gonna win, right? I'm like, this girl sassing me. Does she know who
No
I am in
pressure.
history? You better recognize my name. Recognize it down when you see one, baby. This Jeff.
Say it
We
with your
got.
chest. Say it with your chest.
We were so dope. We did our thing. We left. Like, just bring the trophy, put it in the middle of the table in class. How y'all know? We know we won. See you in this room.
Wow.
We'll see you Monday. We came to class like Bernie Mac. Didn't we tell you? Didn't we tell you that we was gonna win? It's nice and shiny. Good times,
Very
baby.
nice. Very nice. Very nice. That's when you actually had to earn a trophy, but that's a whole nother ball
Yeah,
game.
bro. That memorization, baby. Ooh-wee. I ain't about that life now. You got to pay me to do all that. You got them numbers right like Dion. Okay, I can remember it now, but I'm doing that for free now.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
No free game. No, sorry. This is enough
Mm-mm.
free game right here.
Mm-mm.
We'll have a little fun before the Christmas day.
Yes,
So Santa Claus come down the chimney in a few hours.
I know. We won't even talk about Santa Claus right now.
And shout out to Sari. She's gonna be a guest in the early new year. She said,
Oh,
"Hey,
hi, Sri.
man, God is awesome. I'm booked until mid March now." I'm like, wow.
Okay, you're
You
giving me
mess with me
some.
a little bit.
You're giving me some. Some. You're breathing some life into me. I have a YouTube as well, and I was thinking about that. I need to interview some more people, and it's for Black women leaders. But anyway,
Oh, you got
I
this.
I was like, I need to get some more people. So even hearing that, thank you. You just encouraged me.
Oh,
Thank you.
you got it. You know, anywhere I can help you, let me know. I'm like, hey, she needs people to talk to. Hook her up.
Yes. Everyone heard that, right? He said, if I need help, he would help me. So I'm just letting everyone know.
Oh, yeah.
You would
Gotta be man of your word, baby. Gotta be a leader.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's all you got on this planet.
Absolutely.
So, what is a transformational life coach? That sounds like a big word.
It
Just saying.
is to do big things with. So listen, right? There's so many coaches that are
Mhm,
out now. And if you look up coaching, it helps you to, let's say, get to your goals faster, become self-aware.
mhm.
And if you think about all the things that a coach helps you with, it's really about, in the end, it's about the transformation, right? In the
Okay.
end, it is about the change. There's this quote from Paul, and I never quite say it right, but basically, it's not. It's basically, don't be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So let's look at that for a quick second. And I don't care what anyone believes, right? When you say conform to this world, well, when you conform, you kind of just agree with what everyone is doing. And
Mm-hmm.
everyone, right, along a lot of times, everyone is just okay. You grow up, you go to college, you get your career, you're good. You maybe have now a few careers, and then you retire. But sometimes, many times, what your path is something different. So I want to say this. I get this
Absolutely.
picture in my mind when I think about conformity. And for a while, I had this gig where I was working in New York City. And so
Mm-hmm.
I would get off at the regular time, 5 or whatever it is. And
Mm-hmm.
there was this point, if anyone knows New York City, and it was Midtown Manhattan, there
Mm.
is a big bus terminal called the Port Authority Bus Terminal. And so that's where it's the centralized place where, and especially before COVID, I don't know what it looks like now during rush hour, but that's where everyone goes. So you can take your buses and your trains to go to
Oh
wherever
man.
it is that you live, whether it's New York suburbs, New Jersey suburbs. Some people take it to get to Connecticut, wherever it
Wow.
is. Now, when I would get off work and I would
Mm-hmm.
be walking about a 10-minute walk to get to the Port Authority, there's a point where I'm walking, and this would happen while during my stint there, that I would just start looking around. And everyone, we were all walking, it was like zombies.
Oh
Everyone
no.
walking, and it became more crowded. The closer you got to the Port
Mm-hmm.
Authority, it was like zombies. And there would be so many people that even this one street that I was walking down, it would be too many people to stay on the sidewalk. So some people are actually
Wow.
kind of walking in the street a little. So let's go back to the example. Be not conformed to this world. I get that picture of everyone just
Doing
doing
the
their
same thing.
routine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just doing it and not saying it's bad. Listen, I'm sure everyone had a good job supporting their families, doing the right thing. But be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed. There's a transformation that takes place.
Okay.
And what it says is by the renewing of your mind. So when you think about me as a transformational coach, where am I going first?
To
To
the
the
mind.
mind. To the mind. Because if I can help you realize what's in your mind. Listen, I'm not putting stuff in your mind. I believe the transformation lives in all of us. But what has to happen? There needs to be an unlocking of the mind. Once
Mm-hmm.
that's there, once that mindset has changed, and listen, you hear everyone talking about mindset, but I'm going to ask you, like those of you who listen to this, right? Or who watch this, don't think about mindset as, oh, everyone talks about mindset, but know that it is real. Know that many times what's stopping you from change is your mind.
That's true.
So therefore, as a transformational life coach, I go for that mind first. Because once you can unlock, once I can help you unlock that by, my methodology of how I coach, then
Mhm.
you can be transformed. And that is what a transformational life coach is.
Yeah, yeah, you was in church before. I'm like, that's a mini sermon right there. I'm with it. I feel you.
But I didn't spit on the camera. I'll need some spittle to land right here on the camera.
I'm like, waiting. I'm waiting for her to say, glory to God. Like, amen. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Oh, God.
I ain't got no sense, but it's all good.
Oh, and also I'd have to say, ha, in between.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You got to throw that with it.
My
Throw
kind
that-
of church
that-
that
that-
I
that
went
little
to.
honey with it.
Spittle and ha, okay? Sorry. To all my
For sure.
peeps out there, y'all know you my peeps.
For sure. They know about that. So, how did you become a coach for MBA students at Butler University? Found it very
Okay,
interesting.
that's just, I was like, oh, this is a simple story. Get ready for the short answer. But my mentor looked out for me. My
Okay.
mentor who was, yeah, she was my coaching mentor. And she let me know. But I want to say this, it's just such a great program for a college or university to be offering the services of coaching. Like, think about what I just described transformational life
Mm-hmm.
coaching as. And imagine that your college or university says to you, hey, We're going to just give this to you as a part of your program. Holy smoke. And listen, those students, I don't even think they realize what they have. I just want to say this. There are, because some people say, oh, I don't really need any help. Okay. So I want you to talk to Oprah Winfrey about that. She's had a life coach. I want you to talk to Serena Williams about that. She's had a life coach. I want you to talk to Leonardo DiCaprio about that. He's had a life coach. I want you to talk to Bill Clinton about that. He's had a life coach. There are big names, and they don't
Mm-hmm.
get big for no reason. It's just because they get that assistance. So anyway, um, as far as Butler, it was someone looked out for me, and then I had this wonderful opportunity to work with students as for a few weeks within their program as they are pursuing their
That's awesome.
MBA. Mm-hmm.
I've had a lot of mentors over the year to help me get to where I am.
Mm.
But the last mentor I had, I would say, was Outcast, Get Up and Get Out. Because my last few classes, I played that every day while I was working on homework. Like, you got to get to the end of the road in this one, dog. I don't care what happened on this planet, you got to finish. You can
Mm.
look at it and see it.
Mm.
Everybody coached you up, they done all that. It's on you now. How bad you want it.
Mm.
You
But
got to really.
I like what you just said, though. It's on you, right? Because sometimes maybe there's a misunderstanding that coaches are doing it for you. The reason why I can say I've had success as a coach, yeah, I'm half of the equation, right? It has to be those who I coach, the coachees who do the personal work, right? I'm holding
Mhm.
their hand. I'm a thought partner. I don't even know if I can say a guide. Maybe I'm a guide with it to help them go within themselves. But
Yeah.
that's what you just said. It's up to you in the end. If it's to be, it's up to me, right? That's what it is.
Oh man, I used to have. I'd be on YouTube. I'm having a repeat on my iPhone.
Mm.
Being my ear is just banging it. Just they're like, "Hey Jeff, did you say you work in the morning? You been up already?" Like, yep, I'm ready to go. What you listening to? I can't play this right now. Too many esteemed people in this room. I was like, "What are you playing?" I'm playing some get your hand in the mud and go get it. Get it out the mud. Lean on the Lord and go get it. Get
Yes,
dirty. Do what you got to
yes,
do.
yes, yes. By any means, um,
For
you,
real.
it sounds like it just gives me the picture that you were fighting for yourself, and that's what we have to do, right? We have to fight for our dreams. And sometimes it's not always a fight, but sometimes, because it sounds like what you were saying was there may have been the invisible forces almost like pulling
Nah,
you back a little bit, but it's like pulling.
custodian, working overtime,
Mm,
working around lazy people that you want to punch in the face. You shouldn't do that because you're a good Christian. Making your job harder. Oh yeah, it was a lot going on. Like focus, focus. Don't go punch that man in the face. You know he lazy, but
y-
let it be. Yeah, you work like a Hebrew today, but just it's class time now. Let it go, Jeff. Let it go. Like, no, I want to walk over there and WrestleMania that man. He shouldn't have left that bathroom that asked for me to clean. That ain't right. Like, nope, just let it go.
mm, mm,
Let it go. Wax
mm.
on, wax off, like Karate Kid.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you got to refocus. Like, get on the grind.
No, I hear you saying I press towards the mark for the prize, right? So you were pressing, and what happens when you press, when you crush coal? What do you get? A diamond. What happens when you're pressing the olive? You get the oil. So the good things come out of that crushing, come out of that pressing period. Um, and yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry. You start
Mm-hmm.
saying things, and I start thinking about
Hey,
other things that go hand
hey,
in
I had
hand.
a dunk on COVID. I'm like, okay, everybody graduate 19. I'm like, congrats, my party coming. We're gonna get the dime,
Mm,
Gatorade, the water. We're gonna do it.
yeah.
What you mean the world got to shut down? What? And every day before class, we have a little how everybody feeling. Well, someone I know just passed. I'm a little anxious. I don't know. And like, well, how you feeling, Jeff? Like, look here. I don't care if this damn planet blow up. I need that piece of paper. They gotta
Mm,
wait. Let me get it. Then the planet can blow up. I don't care. But I need to say
mm,
I'm a college graduate. I've gotten too far. I
mm,
can
mm,
touch it. I don't care about COVID. We getting up out of there. Everybody's like, yeah, Jeff, you're right. I don't care about the world can end.
mm.
Pause. I need to get that paper. Then you can. Yeah, I don't care. Blow the damn thing up. But I worked too hard for that. I need to get that.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Congratulations. Congratulations on
Oh,
that too.
thank you.
That's phenomenal.
And that sparked a lot to where I am now. I was thinking about it last night watching The Best Man last
Mm.
chapter. Pretty cool.
Don't tell me no spoiler alert. No
I
spoiler
just said
alert.
it's pretty cool. I ain't say nothing else. Check it out for yourself. Pretty cool. But I was looking at my diploma and realized, like, had you not finished your degree, you wouldn't put that mini video on LinkedIn, which I only created for a business class
Mm.
because it was an assignment. And telling people, man, be the hardest working room. If I did it, you can do it. And they garnered over 3,000 views. I was like, wow. They looking at little on me. What the? Then my first guest, Chris, reached out. I rebooted my show, and season 930 some episode later, I'm at this point like, wow. So if you didn't finish, you wouldn't have made that video on LinkedIn and set off a chain reaction to where you're doing
Wow.
this. Like
Wow,
that.
wow, wow. And I love that you just said chain reaction. I'm thinking about, where it says to not despise the small beginnings, right? Because you don't know. You don't know. I hope people are listening, like really listening to what you're saying. Because a lot of times you just do something, you're not thinking about it, but you don't know what type of chain reaction, ripple effect, how it can
Man.
positively impact your life. That's amazing.
I was humble when I said that. I'm like, wow. Because I was so geek when I got it. I'm like, yeah, baby. What I'm talking about. I'm Ric Flair. I'm world champ. I walked that out. Style profile, baby.
No, you
Woo!
didn't say Ric Flair.
I'm trying to hold these Gucci shoes down, baby. You couldn't tell me nothing. I had that in my hand. I'm going to put this on LinkedIn. And like, wow. These
Wow.
many people like this? Wow. I need to get on LinkedIn more often.
Wow.
And here I am now. Like, wow.
Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
Crazy beginnings. But you did TEDx. You like a Hall of Fame to me. I'm like, Ted, what? Okay. How did that happen for you? Hall of Famer?
Yeah. You know what? It's funny because I, knew this question was coming up, and I was just gonna tell you, oh, I had someone make a call and that's what happened. But I was like, no, 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 no. I can tell you that there was a certain year in my life, maybe it was 2020. I didn't write it down. I don't even know what it was when I said,
Mm-hmm.
I would love to be a TEDx speaker. I really want to be a TEDx speaker. So it went from, I would love to be a TEDx speaker. I watch TEDx, YouTube, and then also I would listen to the podcast or whatever. And I did say that, and I did set that intention. So
Mm-hmm.
let's stop for a second, right? And I'll say, okay, how did I get it? I can tell you, I manifested it a few years in the making, having a burning desire. If anyone reads the book Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, right? They talk about that burning desire. So being a TEDx speaker for me was a burning desire. And I
Okay.
didn't know how. I didn't know the how. I think I had looked up a couple of things and it just seemed a little complicated. And then one day while I was living in Kenya, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and when after I moved to Kenya, and I do live, I'm here in New Jersey, but I live in Kenya now. I saw something with TEDx in a place called Nyali, that's over in the coast in Kenya,
Okay.
and I had my assistant at the time. I said, I don't know, can you just? It was on LinkedIn. I was like, can you just send an email to this person or a LinkedIn message to this person to see if
Okay.
they have any spots. And she came back, she said they're all filled up. I was like, all right. So I put that in the back of my mind. So one
Mm-hmm.
day, maybe
Okay.
a few weeks later, I'm walking out. I remember I'm walking out of the barbershop. I had a fresh cut, and
Gotcha.
my phone rings, foreign number, well, an unknown number, and I'm like, hello, and they're like, this is such and so, the TEDx organizer. Someone has dropped out.
Nice.
So we would like to know if you'd like to fill that in. And that is how. And
Nice.
wait. Okay, so
Okay.
sorry. Let me finish this story because I forget because this is
Go
a
ahead.
miracle, right? So I'm like, yeah, I drop everything. I don't have a pen, but I'm typing things in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I get that now. At the time, Kenya was on a semi type of lockdown again,
Okay.
or an extended version of it. Oh, it was 2021, so it was like again, right? Because everyone had lockdown in
Okay.
2020, the COVID numbers started going back up, and so there was a lockdown. So you were prohibited from traveling. Now,
Mm.
where I was going was either a 9-hour car ride, a 5-hour train ride, or like
Mhm.
an hour plane ride. Either way, I had to
Mhm.
get from one place to the other. So it meant I was going to have to go to like the local police station, and then I had to like it was like all this type of thing, not the local like a special police station. You had to see if they'd accept you, get approval to do this because they were saying you cannot cross county lines.
Mm.
Lo and behold, but I had said yes. I don't know how this is going to happen, but I had said yes. We started looking. I had
Mhm.
my assistant look for the thing. And then it was a Saturday, like maybe a week before. And she calls me.
Okay.
She gets really excited. She's like, "Did you hear what happened? Did you hear what happened?" And so I was like, "What is it, Hillary? What is it?" She said the president made an announcement. They have opened back up the country. You don't need to get
Awesome.
any special permission. You could just go, and that's it. And
Awesome.
that is how I got
Nice.
to be a TEDx speaker. So it started with the words. There is a scripture that says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue." When you
Mhm.
speak, right? I wanted people to understand. I used to think, like they said, when you speak, things happen. However, things don't always happen in the 3D. Let me explain what I mean, right? Our 3D is what we can see, our senses, what we can feel, taste, touch, hear. So
Mhm.
I said something. However, and I did not know the how. I did not know the how. I tried the how and it confused me. So I said,
Mhm.
mm, I don't know how, but I'm going to be. So something started happening in the supernatural or in the faith world, the 4D. So something started to happen as a result of what? My burning desire. So now I get the call, I get the rejection. I was like, all right, there'll be another time. But then someone moves, right? So look how I strategically get put in there. I didn't say at the time, well, the country is closed, so I don't know how I'm going to do it. I just said yes. Now, my faith will figure out the how. How is it
Mhm.
that my faith, pardon me for going to this link, but my faith would move the president of a freaking country to open up the
Mhm.
borders between counties so I could travel. I know, I'm sorry, maybe I take this a little bit too personally, but
Nah,
but
not too big for God.
miraculously
No.
happened so that I could stand on that stage. So I just want people to hear because I'm all about the lessons. I'm still an educator, I'm still a teacher, and I'm all about the lessons. This is my experience, but God is no respecter of persons. And the universal laws that work for me, and I don't care what your belief is and who you are watching this, they can work for you. So that is my
That's true.
answer. That's how I got to be a TEDx
I'm
speaker.
gonna get on your level. I'm going to talk at a TEDx one of these days.
Yes, it's happening now. It's happening now. So now the faith has been put into action, right? You're speaking it, excuse me, you're speaking it and the word has been put into action, and then there'll be a faith move on your part. And Jeffrey, I will be keeping track because I want to know when that faith moves happen,
Oh,
that opportunity comes.
we're
Yes.
gonna we're gonna get ignorant with it. Like they should have never let me up in here. What's happening? What's really good? Let's chop it up, baby. Tell
Yes.
you how you
Yes.
go get this. You gotta get it. That's an awesome story. But
Thank
we're at
you.
the point to promote you now. So anything you got going on, talk about it.
Yes, well, as we've been talking about, I am a transformational life coach. I work with Black women leaders. That's the group that I particularly work for, who are uncertain about their next chapter, to
Mhm.
help them to become to live a confident, soul connected life that they desire, or their next chapter. So anyone, and I guess you'll have my information. Anyone wants to get in touch
Mhm.
with me, LinkedIn is the best place. You see my name, Coach Vuyanzi, and that's how I am on LinkedIn. So you can find me there. So we can have a coaching strategy call. Also, a couple of the things really quickly, because this has directly to do with that I manifested in 2019. I said I wanted to be an author, and in 2020 I got that opportunity 4 times. And
Okay.
so as a co-author in 4 different books, I think 2 or 3 of them were best-selling. As you can see, I can't even remember now, because now it's about just my own book. However, I still have a couple of the physical books left. These were collaborative things. So really quickly, this is called What is Your Superpower Anthology. And
Mhm.
basically, it's a few stories of a number of women, Black women leaders, who talk about discovering their superpowers. So this book, if people are interested in it, I don't know, am I allowed to say a price, or you just want them to get in touch with me?
No, this show about you. Tell them.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure this book is just $20, and honestly, I only have 3 of them left. And once they're gone, they're gone. I'm not ordering any more of those. I have a tick in my box for having been an author, one of the anthology people there. And then also this book I love. I guess I should have taken it out of the plastic, but I didn't. And this is called Love Letters to My Girls.
Okay.
This is specifically for Black women, Black girls. I mean, it could be for anyone, but it is to encourage, for people to be encouraged through. It's an anthology. There are about 100 different pages in here. It
Mhm.
doesn't need to be read cover to cover. You could read it one page at a time. And this is to help everyone to move forward. So this is perfect for like groups, whether they're, girl empowerment groups, women empowerment groups. And that book is just $25. So everyone, you can just send me a message, connect with me, send me a message on LinkedIn, and that would just get shipped out to you very quickly. And so that is what I have going on: coaching strategy sessions and these books. And again, these books were a manifestation of that which I spoke in 2019, and in 2020, 4 times it came to fruition.
Okay.
And oh,
Now,
I have a YouTube
go
too.
ahead.
Sorry. I told you I got to get better with my YouTube show. My
Okay.
YouTube show, and it's burgeoning. And we're about to put some interviews on there. It's called the Find Your Voice Show, to help Black woman leaders to find their voice from the inside out, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So I encourage people to subscribe to that as well. And that is me, Coach Vuyanzi.
Okay. I'm gonna put all this. If you ever went to my LinkedIn, you see I put the latest episode. I'm gonna put all that, how they can get in contact with you, show. And I'm gonna put a post out about you looking for female guests to be on the show. Reach out to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Black women leaders. I'm all about that. Oh my, yes, yes. I get excited. Don't get me getting too excited, Jeffrey.
Well, my spidey sense was hearing, is she an author? Because I know I've written 2 books, but I'm not sure. Then you say you done that and you about to work on one. So I'm like, okay, so I ain't crazy. She
Yeah.
an author.
Your spidey sense. I love it.
I mean, after writing 2 books, like you just sense like you read the book. I was thinking about like, yep, it was tingling. Like, okay. So I can add that to the list of things, author as well.
Yes, yes. And
You need to put that on your LinkedIn too. Update
I
your
know I
LinkedIn
have to be
page.
better with that. I have to be, and it's, but let me just say this though. It's funny because if you're listening to me, it's like, does she even care? Yes, I so care. And it's funny because once you achieve it, that's why you have to be happy with who you are inside, right? Because if you let external things bring you
Mhm.
happiness, you'll always be looking for the next, right? So I am happy because it's a decision that I made many years ago. And okay, I did these books. Yay, I did it. But it's like, all right, now I'm ready to do one on my own. Like, so folks,
Yeah.
make sure your happiness comes from here, not from out there.
Yeah, that's so true. You got to. Only you can make you happy. Can't nobody else make you happy.
Only you can make. Oh no, that was you.
You know
Sorry,
about
sorry.
that. You know about that old school right there.
I'm very old school. Do not get me started.
Okay, I feel you. So, what has been the biggest challenge on your journey?
Mm. Oh God, overcoming
Okay.
limiting beliefs. Overcoming a specific limiting belief that I didn't even know I had for about 2 decades. And notice the word I'm using, Jeff. I said overcoming because it was 2 decades
Mhm.
of being in this thing, and sometimes it still happens. So here's what it was, and it was uncovered right before everything shut down in 2020 when I was working with my own coach, because coaches should have coaches too. So I was working with my own coach, and I said, "Oh my gosh." When my kids were little, I remember one time I was about to write out a bill, or a bill came, and I didn't have at that time the money in the checking account to pay for it. And I
Mhm.
said this damning thing to my life. I said, "Well, I'm a single parent, so I'll always be a step behind." I said that, and I held on to that belief. I held on to it, when I tell you, for decades. I held on that I'll always be a step behind. And when I would find myself stumbling with something, I would go back to that. So let me explain. That limiting belief limited so many
Mhm.
areas of my life. And even now, I've left messages for my kids. I'm like, if I've said something to mess you up, please go to therapy, because I was just operating in the best I could at that time. So
Absolutely.
I have started overcoming it. I started overcoming it in 2020, and understand, right? Because we are whole people. It wasn't just in one area. So when I find myself reverting back to that, because there'll be a certain area of my life, and I'll find myself, and I said, no, 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 no. No, with God, all things are possible. The kingdom of God is within. I start speaking life
Mhm.
to myself, because that limiting belief held me hostage, and I held on to it for over, I'm saying 2 decades to be nice, but it may have been a little bit over 20 years I held on to that.
Yeah, I remember Bishop Butler did a sermon where he said it's like taking a 12 gauge shotgun and turning on yourself, speaking negatively about you. I can't do this. I can't do that. I never do this. And your tongue breathes life or death. So whatever you say, angels and demons are gonna go forth to work in your behalf. So you want to say you ain't gonna never be nothing, they're gonna punch you in the head. Like, yep, you ain't never be nothing. You're gonna suck. You're gonna suck. But if
Yes.
you say you can do all things Christ strengthen you, if I put the work in, we'll have him
Yes.
lift you up. You little courage,
Yes.
confidence, put the right mentors around to get to where you're trying to go.
This goes back to the whole transformation, right? Do we
Mhm.
see, like, this thread following it, that I had to be transformed first by the renewing of my mind?
Mhm.
So the thing is, sometimes we don't even realize, because I was living in that. I was happy, and when I say happily, I'm putting air quotes around
Mhm.
it, living in that, what I latched onto as my truth. And if you fight, I heard this expression, I just heard it recently. If you fight for your limitations, you will hold on to them.
Mhm.
And I fought for my limitation, not even realizing that. And caused just and so listen, and also I want people to understand, um because also I don't live a life of regret. I live a life
Mhm.
of lessons. So that 20-year lesson, it won't take me 20 years to get out, I can tell you that, number one. And
Mhm.
number two, in this overcoming stage, I have learned so much, that even right now, someone who's hearing this, someone who's going to watch it, someone who's going to listen to it, their lives, they will begin to be unlocked to whatever damning statements they have, um, they have said in their lives, that have
Mhm.
caused a an effect, a damning effect, I guess we could say, in their lives. Our lives are either by design or by
Mhm.
default. You are designing your life, whether you are doing it intentionally or unintentionally. So, folks, what can you learn from my mistake?
Yeah, I remember when I was custodian in Wayne State, I sit back, talk with people, and we had talk about, well, I might want to get a doctorate. Like, you can get it. I'm just joking. Like, no, you can get whatever you put your mind to.
Mm, mm.
Other people, yeah, they may have started before you, but put the work in, you'll get a doctorate just like
Yes,
that person that did it in 5 years. Ain't nobody gonna care how long you took. Are you a doctor? Oh, you got
yes,
it. You're a doctor. You're a doctor. You both a doctor. Who cares how
yes.
long it took? You got it.
Because even just now, when you said they'll say, "Oh, I'm just kidding," you're hearing the doubt. You're
Mhm.
hearing the doubt that they have about themselves. "Oh, I'm just kidding." Like inside, they're like, "Oh, because I could never do that," right? Like you
Mhm.
hear what's not being said by that. "Oh, I'm just kidding." There's something that they have to, overcome. There's that self doubt. There's
Mhm.
that mindset. Oh my gosh.
It's just like,
I love this topic.
read that in one of our management books. Like, you have an idea. Oh, you can never do that. Yeah, you're right. But like, wow. Well, you thought about this. You thought about that. Like, so I was trying to be that. Yes. Like, well, what you gonna do with it? You want to get online? Let's Google it. Like, you said it. Let's put some work to it. After that, the rest is yours. But we can jump on it right now and get the ball rolling.
Mm,
And
mm,
like, you for
mm.
real? Like, yeah, Apple, Facebook, all these people had an idea and made it come to life. You can do the same.
Oh
Do the
gosh.
same.
Oh, Jeff, you're just hitting nails on heads. I just listened to I'm on Audible all the time these days,
Okay.
but a book about billionaires.
Hmm.
It's only profiles billionaires, and all maybe one didn't, but all these guys started off like not with silver spoons in their mouths. They started off as a disadvantage, many of them in poverty, some of them homeless, some of them no parent. Like the way they start off. And a lot of times, those of us who are like limiting ourselves, we didn't even have those types of problems. Yeah, maybe,
Hmm.
like there may have been some struggle, but a lot of people haven't even seen those types. But these guys became not millionaires, but billionaires. So what's stopping us? God is no respecter of persons.
Hmm. I'm gonna become a billionaire because I gotta help a lot of people.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Preach, Jeff.
I'm just saying. I mean, I died at birth and came back, so I gotta be here to help people.
Mm, 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 mm,
That's how I look at it.
I love that. I love it. Yes, it's happening, and I speak that over myself too. That is, I say I'm a billionaire. I am a billionaire. I am a billionaire. Until also let it sink from the heart to your belly too, making sure that you're feeling that in your belly. And when a person finds that you don't, okay, let me just say this, a
Go
quick
ahead.
hack,
Sure, sure,
right?
sure, sure.
When we're saying things, sometimes our heart wants it, but because of various things in our subconscious minds that sometimes we're not even aware of, our bellies are not in tune to it. So what do I mean by our bellies, right? I'm talking about our intuition, the God
Mhm.
within us. And sometimes we're not feeling it there, because sometimes you hold your belly and you might get an answer, but you're just feeling it here. So just start to do the exercise, visualize, see yourself as that billionaire. Some of you may say, "Oh no, I don't want that millionaire." Okay, fine. See yourself as a millionaire, whatever it is. See yourself as that and start to feel it from your heart for it to go in your belly, because in that belly is the belief. In the belly is the
I mean,
belief.
it's a sad truth because I remember when I was applying for supervisor, associate
Mm,
director jobs in my custodial department in Wayne State. Some of my coworkers I was real cool with, like, well, I'd be cool with associate. Like, go for director. You change the culture. You can't do nothing as associate director, really. You're gonna do it, go all out, be the top dog, and do it the way you want to do it. Have no
mm,
restriction on what you can do on this planet
mm, mm,
at
mm,
all.
mm,
And
mm, mm.
sometimes we do that to ourselves. Like, nah, I can do anything. I might
But
have to work twice as hard, but I can do it. I figured it
listen,
out.
that's conformity though, right? Everyone who's thinking like that, that's conformity, whether we realize it or not. Everyone being, "Oh no, no, I'm okay with just," when you hear the line, "Oh, I'm okay with just that, I'm okay with just,"
Mhm.
already you're shrinking. You're shrinking yourself. You're shrinking what you can do. You're shrinking possibilities. You're shrinking God. You're shrinking power. You're shrinking everything. That just can be, pow.
I'm a new job now. Sometimes talk with people like, you want to be a site manager? Like, yeah, somebody gonna make that money. Why not me? And I can do it. I can do a good job.
Mm, 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 mm.
I know what I can do in these streets.
Okay. in these COVID streets, yes,
Give
yes,
you boy a chance. I'm blow it out.
yeah. Why not you?
Crack
Why
the
not
dough,
you?
and I'm gonna show you something. And that's
I
attitude I
love
think
it.
you gotta have for yourself. Just
I hope.
just give me a chance. You're gonna see what it is.
I hope, man. Jeffrey, I hope you're talking to so many people. I hope so many people are hearing you. You're so encouraging. You're so inspiring.
I'll try. I'll try.
Seriously.
So, what has been your impact on your journey?
Um. So when you're asking me about the impact, because I want to make sure I understood this question,
Mhm.
what has been my impact on impact to myself, impact on others?
What
Talk
do
to
you
me.
think your impact has been on this journey so far?
You mean okay? I'm sorry. I'm still
Oh, no problem. I got you. What do you think your impact has been
got
as a
it.
coach on your
Got it.
journey?
Got it. Got it. Thank you. I know people are like,
No problem.
dang.
No
It's
problem. Get it right. No problem. Take our time. We get it right.
so I'm happy to say this.
Hmm.
In case I was wondering, I've actually gotten people like even on my LinkedIn profile
Hmm.
to put recommendations to talk
Awesome.
about the impact that I have had in their lives. I've seen, oh my gosh, like there's one woman who was, and I won't say her name, but anyway, her name is, she's in one of my LinkedIn
Gotcha.
recommendations that she was going through a real big struggle in her personal life when she came to me,
Hmm.
but she knew that she wanted to be a coach. So I need to say that she's a
Okay.
medical doctor. So this wasn't anyone who was like a slouch. I mean, she was a medical doctor,
Hmm.
house two kids, things that look probably on the outside world like
She got it going on.
she's damn near perfect, right? But there was
Hmm.
this struggle that she was going through. And she said, I know I want to be a coach, but this has to change in my life. So we did more intensive and this type of coaching that I do with her is not the average because we were meeting like every single week for 6 months. And I actually saw a transformation in her face that
Okay.
she made a big decision in her personal life that
Hmm.
then freed her. And then she actually transformed, she began her business. She transformed her life into, yes, she's still a medical doctor, but using that degree to really spur on her coaching business,
Nice.
lost weight, has a following, and has transformed. That's one impact that I saw in someone's life even just recently, and that was one of my first coaching that was
Hmm.
one of my first coaching clients. And even up until recently, I've seen a transformation. An executive at a big pharmaceutical company came to me. She's like, I know I want to do even more in this space that I'm in, but I'm not sure how to get there. Notice, right? Her word, I'm not sure how to do that. So
Hmm.
I didn't go to her and say, okay, this is what we must do, this, and this. I said, okay, well, let's start. What do we start doing? We started unlocking what was already in her to start the process. I'm telling you, not even 2 months into our working together, the impact was that she was sought. She was sought out in her company to move to this area that was even bigger than what she was imagining it would be, and she's getting ready to make that transition. We started working with each other I think in September. She's about to make that transition in January. We're not even finished working
Awesome.
together. So I've seen stuff like that where people are, the impact is that people do the work and there's some type of abundance that happens in their life. They move towards that. Usually it's in their career where the change happens. And it and the people that I've been working with, it hasn't taken a lot of toiling and sweating and fighting and doing all this. It hasn't taken a lot of that. It has taken their faith that
Hmm.
produced action.
Awesome.
Their faith that produced action. I'm sorry. I just want to say this. Oh my
The
God.
faith that works is dead. What you talking about?
It reminds me of there's this story in the New Testament, and I use biblical examples.
No
I
problem.
work with many different people, and I like to say this. I use biblical examples because if anyone understands that the Bible has not only been, it's an anthology, right, of ancient religious ancient texts,
Mhm.
and many of the greats have used it in their
Mhm.
writings, even those who
Absolutely.
didn't necessarily believe it was gospel per se, and
Absolutely.
and still continue to make reference to it. So you see, I make reference to it too. So there's this time that Jesus is in a house and he's healing people, right? Because this guy
Mhm.
was always going viral, always trending, and people are coming. And these guys had their friend who
In the
uh,
bed.
disabled.
Yeah.
And so what happens is they're like, shoot, we can't get in here. What do we need to do? They went on the roof,
Mhm.
they pulled it apart, and they lowered their friend. Now I want to stop the story right there because after that, the friend gets healed. But before that, there's a verse that said, and when he saw their faith, they didn't sit outside and say, we don't know what we're going to do. It's so crowded out here. They did a demonstration. So they had the faith, they demonstrated it. And when he saw their faith, that was when the miracle transpired. So the people that have been working with me, I feel like I know it is God's will and I'm working in where I'm supposed to be
Mhm.
because I'm helping people to I can't have that faith for them. I can hold space with them. I can be in agreement with them, but they
Mhm.
have to demonstrate their faith. And when they're demonstrating it, there's something, the miracle is happening
They gotta
over,
want it.
over, and over again.
They gotta want it.
All these topics get me really excited.
I mean, that's like the story where I forgot the lady in the Bible. She had the child that died. She went to go get the preacher. And he like, if you're on everything good, come on. And she's like, it's all well, just come on. Go do what you do. He good. Like,
Yes.
what you mean he good? He dead. No, he good. Do what you do. He good.
Yes.
And bam, he good.
I said yes, yes, yes,
He
yes.
ain't nothing but he all right. We got this. We got this covered.
Mm, mm,
But
mm, mm.
sometimes you gotta have that faith of a mustard seed that only you know what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Because other people might not see the vision. Only you see it. And stay the course.
And you talk about the vision, Jeff. Your vision isn't for everyone to know,
Nope.
right? We saw what happened to Joseph.
Mhm.
Talked about his visions to his older brothers, like, yo, guess what? I'm gonna lead you. I'm gonna be on top. They're like, oh, that's a vision.
Mhm.
Okay, we got you. So your
Absolutely.
vision,
Had his
we
hair
got
cut off.
you. So your vision, and I want everyone to hear this, right? Because we get excited, right? We want to run with the vision. We write it. We want to run with it. But
Mhm.
it's not to always run and tell while you're pursuing it. Definitely is a testimony after you go through it. However, it's not always for you to tell everyone. So everyone listening and watching, always have discernment about who you're telling your vision to
Mhm.
as well.
That's true. And sometimes people just watch how you move, and that inspired them. And you'll never know that you turned their life around. They're like, I watched this person be right here, kept grinding, and they got to here. They
Yes.
did. I could do it. I had that happen a week ago. My homeboy since sixth grade told me at his aunt's repast that he saw I got my degree. How long it took me? Military man, retired. Like I can go. He Jeff did. I could do it. I'm like, I was humbled. Like, wow,
Yo,
you really don't know who watching you.
you are
You
inspiring,
really
like
don't.
you're inspiring so many people. Listen, there's an old hymn that goes, when I move, you move. Just like that. When I move, you move. It's
That's
like
what I knew. Though. Okay, I got you. For sure. But you're right.
I'm just kidding. It's not a hymn. But yes, just
I
like
feel
that.
you. That was awesome. But you never know who you're inspired for real. And I guess the world need it because some
Mm,
people don't have that undying belief. You can do anything you put your mind to it. I
mm,
do.
mm.
And I guess I try to pass that out here. Like whatever you're trying to do, you can do it. Don't care what
Yes.
nobody say. You can do it. You only can't do it when you don't try. Then you're right. You can't do it. You ain't done nothing.
That's a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's it. When I can't do it, that's a okay, well, no, you can't. That's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, but as long as you working towards it, you'll get it. You're gonna hit pay dirt at some point. Every behind the music, because I was big in music. Babyface was a role model, and I would watch all these people's stories. Everybody's story different, but they all kept working and they hit. When I first started doing music, my stuff sucked. I can say that now. You can't tell me I wouldn't admit that back then. I'm like, man, I'm the buyer. I'm making beats. But back then, I wasn't right yet. I didn't find me. But kept working there, like, oh, this is the flavor. Now if you listen to my music, like, oh, that's Jeff. Yeah. It sounds good, though.
Wow. It does. I love the opening, by the way. It's awesome.
Check out both albums, JLE World, JLE Experience, change your life.
Oh, shoot. I'm out here trying to change my life. Okay.
Hey, boy, you're going to be like, these beats. I feel what you're talking about now. I'm trying to tell you. Wow. All positive. So you ain't got, anybody can listen to it.
You know, Jeff, you know, I just want to say this to you. You know, we're really just meeting now, and
sure.
Like just I admire not just what you're doing, but how you're speaking as a Black man. That's so important that we're seeing that. Just because a lot of times, you know, I have the Find Your Voice show, and it's specifically for Black women leaders. But a lot of times in this country, because I know people from other countries will see this, because I'm going to be sharing it, because my peeps in Kenya are going to see it. But a lot of times the Black man's voice has been muted so many times. And to hear you not only speak, but you speak with that, what I call that God confidence. You're just speaking life to me right now in all that you're saying. So I appreciate you. I appreciate for you being just who you are and the example that you're setting right now. I hope that was okay to say, because
I'm humbled by that. Thank you.
It's amazing. Thank you.
You never know what you out here doing, man. Just trying to do the work.
Yeah.
And last question: what advice do you have for someone trying to find their purpose?
I say there's so many things I wanted to say. So let me just say it like this. Number one, to lean into your passion. A lot of times, you know, we think that we shouldn't lean into our passion because we're like, oh, but that won't make money. But sometimes it's an element of it. Lean into your passion. Unlock, that will allow you to unlock your purpose. And then it gives you an opportunity to get into position. That's actually what my coaching program is called, passion, purpose, position. I also want, oh man, that's us. Time's up.
No, that's my workout alarm. Don't pay that no attention.
Okay.
I thought I muted that. Nah, you good. You good. My bad. I thought I muted that. Keep going.
And the other thing I want to say, okay, so we talk about passion, purpose, and position. When you think about your purpose, sometimes people feel, they may feel discouraged about where they are. And for this example, this is an example I use all the time. Let's think about King David. King David, when we're first introduced to him, he is the runt of the litter. He is the youngest of the sons, and he is a smelly shepherd, out so much so that they forgot that he existed. And what was he doing while he was guarding the sheep? He was wrestling lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, but listen to this. That was his purpose at that time. Why? Because it was preparing, he was operating in his purpose, yet it was preparing him for his next phase of purpose. Now here comes a giant that he was not afraid of. He said, are you kidding me? I have wrestled with lions. You're nothing, and you're talking about my God this way. So now what does he do? He slays a giant. He was operating still now, because that prepped him for this in his purpose. Now, two things happened as a result. The army people are like, oh, shoot. And then now the king, now he's going to get the attention of the king, King Saul at the time. Okay, so he's operating in his purpose there. He gets the attention of the king. Now the king, a lot happens. Now he becomes the king's right hand man. While he was the king's right hand man, he was operating in his purpose, but the preparation that had happened before, he was still operating in his purpose, but he was in the next level of purpose. And what happens? A whole bunch of stuff happens. And then he goes from being the king's right hand man to the king himself, and a warrior, like a top-notch warrior, the leader of the army. So what do I want to say? If you're feeling discouraged because you're out there in the fields, if you're feeling discouraged, like, why am I having to fight my way? If you're feeling discouraged because you're like, I'm on the right hand of the leader, but I'm supposed to be the leader, I want you to not despise those small things, because you could be operating in your purpose, and your purpose at that moment could be preparation for the next level of your purpose. And for anyone thinking about their purpose, I want you to keep that in mind.
That's dope. That's a Yoda game right there. Because it all adds up.
Hairs out my ears. Are my ears getting big and growing hairs out my ears and out my nose?
I mean, everything you do adds up to who you need to be once you get to your destination. You might not think about it, but once you do get there, you'll start recalling everything you've been through prepares you for all the stuff that's going to happen at that stuff. And it blows your mind. Like, so that's why I put up with all that crap to deal with this nut job so they can do what they need to do for me. Like, okay.
Yes.
I got experience dealing with a nut job, because that person, I want to kill him. You ain't nothing. I can tolerate you. Okay.
That part all day. That part all day.
I hope you had a great time on the show.
Yeah. Fire! Yes. Fire!
We know with that Hawaiian player. You know about that Hawaiian player, boy. You know about that.
I know. I don't know nothing about that. Bump, bump, bump. Sorry. I'm okay. I've had a great time, Jeff.
Awesome.
Keep doing what you're doing. Man, just all the best, and let's continue to stay connected on the personal level too. I am honored to be now connected to someone like you. I appreciate you all day.
You always want to come back on the show. Let me know you want to come back. You need to be on your show. Let me know. Whatever I can do to help you get where you're trying to go.
Thank you so much.
Well, we want to thank the awesome TEDx speaker, transformational life coach, training and development DEI, and author, Vuyanzi Rodman, Coach Vuyanzi Rodman.
Yes.
For sharing the journey. Whoever listens to it, I hope it's going to help change your life to get you where you need to go. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, everybody, because I know Santa coming in a few hours, get all the good presents and all the good stuff, and drive your parents crazy making all that noise in a few hours. make all the noise you can. Let them know it's Christmas time.
Good stuff. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Thank you. Be safe. Until next time.
Bye.